So yesterday, everyone finally got a chance to get their hands on Honkai Star Rail. It's overall a very fun game, and the quality is what you would expect from HoYoverse. So if you haven't tried it yet, I definitely recommend that you give it a try. But in today's video, I wanted to talk about some tips to help you progress in the game, help you reroll accounts more efficiently without getting locked out, and also go over the best settings for Honkai Star Rail. But before we move on, I do want to mention that this video is sponsored by Bluestacks, which is perfect because this application will actually help you a lot, especially for one specific thing. And that brings us to the first tip, is that you should use an emulator for re-rolling accounts. If you haven't heard, they actually have a hidden limit to how many accounts you can use on the main PC client. I'm not too sure about mobile, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same thing. A lot of people reported that they are not able to use more than 7 accounts on one device. And some say that after the 7th one, there seems to be a 2-hour cooldown before you can log into a different one. And this is a big deal because it already takes you a lot of time just to collect the tickets that you need to reroll on your current account. So you can't afford to wait for another 2 hours just to be able to log into a different one if you happen to get bad rolls on the current account. Now this is where Bluestacks comes in. Bluestacks will actually let you create multiple instances to help you reroll accounts more efficiently. They have this multi-instance feature, which basically lets you simulate different devices. So even if there's an account limit, you can just create a new instance as if you're playing on a completely separate device. So if you are someone who likes to reroll accounts, or you just want to test your luck in getting the characters that you like without spending money, then I definitely recommend that you use Bluestacks. I will have a link in the description below, so you can download Bluestacks and start rerolling efficiently. And that link should also give you the option to download the official PC client if you want to check that out as well. After you download Bluestacks, the next process is basically like getting a new phone. You have to set up your Google Play Store, and you simply have to install Honkai Star Rail. And if you use my link in the description below, that should automatically prompt you to install Honkai Star Rail after you open up Bluestacks. And after you open the game and finish the installation, you will be prompted to log in using one of the 4 different methods. You can log in using a HoYoverse account, Google, Facebook, or Twitter account. If you are re-rolling, I recommend that you use Google because it's by far the easiest way to create however many accounts that you need. After you log in, you simply have to start playing the game and run through the first few missions. You have to play until you get around 40 wishes so that you can clear the discounted banner. You will see a bunch of other guides showing you the most efficient way of getting those wishes, so I will probably have one linked in the description below. But basically, you have to spend around 1 or 2 hours to get those wishes. It just depends on how fast and efficient you play. You can also skip a lot of enemies, so definitely skip those for now, because you can always go back later on if your current account ends up being your main one. One more thing that will help you do your runs faster is by setting up a macro for skipping the dialogue. For my case, I'm using Glorious software, but you can also do this on other software for the other mice brands. But basically, you just have to create a new macro that will let you spam left click, space, or enter. And if you are using Bluestacks, you can even set a new on-screen input, and then you can set your macro to spam that button whenever you want to skip the dialogue. If you are wondering if this type of macro is bannable, it's not. I have been using the same thing for more than 2 years in games like Genshin, and my accounts are still active. So this is 100% safe because it's not interfering with the game in any unfair or malicious way. Moving on, let's take a look at the best settings for Honkai Star Rail, specifically when you are rerolling accounts. For the graphics settings, this will highly depend on your device. But generally, you would want to set your graphics to very low, but maybe setting the FPS to 60 and the resolution to medium or higher so it's easier on your eyes. But for the rest of them, you can just set it to the lowest option so that your phone doesn't heat up fast, and if you are using Bluestacks, it doesn't use up much resources. And for the next one, we are headed to the other settings at the very bottom. The main things that you would want to look at are the cast ultimate during auto battle mode and whether to continue the use of auto battle. I highly recommend that you set the cast ultimate to manual because the AI is not the best at choosing when to use your ultimates, so it's way better for you to use it manually whenever you feel like it. The third one on the settings screen, you can just leave this at no. This will make it so that even if you use auto battle in your previous fight, it will then be turned off at the beginning of the next one. It's way better this way because you would want to have more control during the first few moves of the fight. So yeah, that is pretty much how you reroll accounts more efficiently and how to find the best settings for the game. Before I let you go, I do want to mention that I'm currently doing some sort of free-to-play challenge where I basically play Honkai Star Rail without pulling on the gacha, which leaves me with the free characters and very limited light cones. So if you're interested in seeing my progress, and maybe you want to know some tips that I personally use to progress in this challenge, then please do let me know in the comments below. And lastly, make sure to check out Bluestacks using my link in the description below. It is the best way to reroll accounts, and it also helps out my channel. With that being said, that's about everything I have for this video. As always, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.